Page 131. Do something to Augustine. I don't speak the language. I'm sorry. It's German. It's whatever it is. Let's talk about it. We're not introducing anything new. We're just using what we've learned so far. 3/4 time. Let's start with the right hand. Fourth finger on G. Here. You think you're here, but if you look in the second measure, you'll notice the thumb has to play the C. So it looks like we're sort of in this area. So you may move around a little bit. We'll talk about it. Rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So remember the dotted rhythm. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. The quarter note comes on 1. The dot comes on 2. So whatever comes after the dot comes on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Bring thumb down. Now the second finger down. Then you have a couple of rests. So now we're in this position. Then second line, reach up here. Just and you're back up to where you were. It's just like the first line. Go down to the third line. Here, rest. Now you're in C position. Then the last line is similar to the second line. Here, where you're up here. The left hand has the broken chords. So remember these patterns? It's very common in 3/4 time to get this pattern. That's really all the left hand is doing. In fact, after you learn the piece, you can change that to this pattern. Since it's in 3/4 time, that works out fine. And I'll leave that up to you. Let's just stick with what's written for now. Put the hands together. Here, 1 and 2. See, this is nice whenever the left hand is playing quarter notes, because you can see in the music how the notes between the stabs line up, and which notes are played together, and which notes are played in between the other notes. For instance, at the beginning, the G in the right hand and the C in the left hand are lined up. They're playing at the same time. But the A is between the two quarter notes in the left hand, so you're going to play it in between them. Because the G then comes with the other quarter note. 1 and 2. It's another way of checking the rhythm when you're struggling to figure out what rhythms are. How do they line up with the other hand? Does the other hand have a rhythm that'll help you out to figure it out? This is all it is. As far as the slurring goes, it's fine, I guess. You just lift up a little bit between the second and third measure and the first, from here to here. And then you're connecting that to the left hand. Connect. You lift up between these slurs, but the last measure, the first line is here. Lift up, and the right hand. Keep the left hand down. The right hand lifts up. Don't totally agree with the slurring, but do the best you can on that. Learn it the way it's written first, and then if you feel the slurring can be changed afterward, go ahead and change it, because it is an arrangement. You can rearrange it. But again, before you do any rearranging, make sure you've learned it exactly the way it's written. That comes first, because when you change something, you want to know you changed it. And you want to be able to hear this arrangement exactly the way it's written. Hear the whole thing exactly that way, and then you can decide if you want to change something. The tendency is, as you're learning it, you say, oh, I don't like that, I'm changing that. That's fine, but don't do it then. Go ahead and just don't question whether you like it or not. Just learn it the way it's written, and then you can go and change things if you want after the fact. The only dynamic they give is medium loud. It's just a suggestion. It's a melody. It's up to you. Get to know the piece, and you can feel this dynamic. You'll get a little louder and softer as you feel it. Keep the left hand out of the way. Now, when you get to the third measure here, you're going to have to play these a little louder, because that's actually melody. It's not written very well, but it is. And then you got to go soft again, so here. way they've written it. I want to talk a little bit about one little technical problem you'll run into in music. It happens here, the last measure, or going into the last measure in the left hand. You're coming from here to here. You need to get those notes down at the same time if you can. It's not easy to do. I'm transferring weight from these fingers to these fingers. That's all I'm doing. As I roll my hand over, the index finger and the thumb come up, and these other fingers just go down. I'm not holding the hand still and trying to do it with the fingers. It's here and roll over. Takes practice. Should be able to, actually should do it in both hands. It's here. I don't know what notes are used. See, when you practice something in one hand, you need to do it in the other hand too. It's just, this is a technical thing, but it's going to help us later on, so try and make sure you can do this okay. It'll feel pretty weird at first, but it comes around. Moderately fast, again, it's up to you. I'm sure there's words to this. They don't have any in the book, but I'm sure there are. I'd like to do a play with me slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. So I'll give us 3 counts and let's go through it together. 1, ready, go.